What an interesting day and evening. I swear, some days, my day off from this bullshit that I find myself doing in BFE, Georgia. Well, actually, last week's little trip was very important. Yes, I still have to go out there a couple more times. But I'm talking about like this shit. You know what I'm talking about because I've been bitching about it. Yeah. Anyways, um, I am looking for a solution to that, and I was also thinking I need to get a day job because I have been on this shit for too long. Yeah. I really feel like it's starting to affect my mental health. Right? I need some sunshine. Spring is coming. I love the sunshine. Love the sunshine, but I don't particularly like people. So I don't like people making me angry. That's what I don't like, or pissing me off. And that's just a part of this place. So my solution is just avoid them altogether and work overnight. But nothing is ever all good, is it? Where there's pros, there's cons in this world. It doesn't have to be that way, but that's just the way it works here. I should probably put that candle in something, So it doesn't get wax everywhere. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah. What I know is I heard some terrible things out here. I was like, oh, we're doing that today, huh? That's what we're doing. Along with some other things. It's always something, I guess I'm going to be doing some reverse stuff now because, well, I need to observe movement and sound in the reverse, but not like human speech, right? It's the other stuff that I'm listening for. My next trip will be in a couple of weeks out to the area again, yeah, and that's as good as it gets right now, yeah. It's very strange how the frequency changes through the morning. What's even stranger is there aren't any particles in the air right now when there was this evening. Now, I had my headlamp on. I didn't light a candle. So, you couldn't see it whenever I was recording it. I should probably explain that, yeah. So for the people who don't know, right, or who may just be curious, right? I don't even look to see who looks at my videos and shit. I put a lot of stuff on the community line because I work with sound. It's important that I only speak whenever I have important things to say. My job mostly is observe, and then I will speak when necessary, right? But I also go between help people who are maybe vibrationally like struggling or low, right? And help bring them up, right? And I will do that through media. And then the other part, I'm probably ripping someone a new asshole. So uh, at that point, like, put down your books, grab the popcorn, and just observe, right? It's very simple. That's the balance that I keep, yeah. Like teaching and helping, like I said, I teach defense and then run offense. So that's what the community line is, right? If I get to the apex of bringing someone to a nice balanced state, then guaranteed I'm gonna rip into those who are maintaining or keeping or producing an imbalance. So that's how that works. So your world changed. If you're not aware, I imagine most people aren't, right? They have an inkling. You'll hear people say things like different timelines and this and that, right? There's many timelines, yeah. The observable one, or the one that you exist in, that changed. It did. So what it did was take all of these ingredients and jumble them together, right? So sometimes, like a good example, my video where I went to the field, to the old nuclear facility, right? How if you turn down the sound and just read my lips, I could tell you about a whole case, right? That was out there. If you turn the sound up, you can hear me talking about what I'm specifically like, whatever, yeah. But the thing is whenever you work on different multiple timelines, right? Like, you can accomplish and do all of that all at once. Facts. So that's how I operate. That's why most of my bitching is you do realize I'm connected to all your networks, and like whatever's happening to me is going to affect everyone, or whatever I'm working on is going to have an effect on blah, 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 right? And then it's going to set off like chain events, right? Because I understand the math. I understand the math, okay? So it's almost like I'm just sitting back and gonna make my complaints, and that's gonna be the fucking end of it until you see, like, the result of that ignoring me. So, it is what it is, right? This is nothing new to me, though, right? There's lots of reasons that people ignore people with important things to say. Most of it is ego, right? Because they can't have anyone above them, right? They're supposed to be at the top of the food chain. Should anyone walk into the room that is higher than them, they can't handle it. So it's best to just ignore it, right? It's like the truth. It's like the truth, right? People would just rather ignore a truth, right? When it's inconvenient, right? Or it, whatever, in their delusion bubble that they work so hard to build, right? Like, that's just, you just got to accept, right? That these are traits that are common, that are whatever, right? And go about your business, right? Period. Keep taking care of business. That's all there is to it. So every time I'm aggravated with something, right, I'm like, they're gonna be even more aggravated, right? When it like boomerangs back to their whatever, yeah. So I just make my complaint, put it out there, wait to be ignored or whatever, and keep, dealing with stupid shit, and then stupid shit can keep happening, like chain events, yeah. And right, it is what it is. But so yeah, your world changed, and like ingredients got like mixed up really bad, right? And unless you saw it in real time like I did, that's probably a hard concept to grasp. But it's very real. It really did happen, right? And it happens a lot, right? It can, it does. If you go into particular places, uh, yeah, it's just what it is, right? It's like a constant find yourself in different places, yeah. The same place, but different ingredients, and then people you'll notice will like change, or they'll be doing things that they never did before, or like whatever, yeah. It's part of it. So the technicals, I feel like, are very difficult for people to grasp, right? Because one thing that like echoes through societies or whatnot is some worn out script about how what's supposed to be what, right? Like you're told all these things, right? So the chances of you thinking outside of that or observing something outside of that are very slim, unless you intentionally do it or know what to look for or whatnot, or if you have experiences. But even so, people who have strange experiences still would just accept things, cry about it, and go about their day, right? Like, that ain't me. Mm-mm. Nope. One, because I got too much time on my hands. Two, I'm smart as fuck. And three, fucking weird never stops, right? So, embrace it. Embrace the madness. Yeah, that is. It works for me, yeah. That's why I don't care what it looks like whenever I do things in spaces or whatnot. I don't care, right? And I've been doing this for a really long time. Yeah, a really long time. So, I know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I don't need for anybody else to know that. It would take a really long time of observing me, what I do, what I post, etc., to get it. It is not a one sentence summary. I cannot. No, there's too much that goes into it, right? I think if I had to, though, like the stuff that people have questions about, right? Like the eerie, strange shit, yeah. Is much more complex. It's just much more complex, right? I completely lost my thought. Sometimes I do wonder, yeah. Sometimes I do wonder, I'm like, would you choose? And it's like, no, but I didn't, right? The thug life just kind of chose me. I didn't choose it. But I may have chose it, and then it just is what it is for like ever, I guess. Yeah. Concerning sciences, that is, yeah. Still better than the boring shit that they fucking tell you any day, yeah. Any day. And I am the queen. Yes. I may not have or get what everyone else was told would make them happy, whatnot, right? But I got plenty to keep me busy. That's for sure. What do I mean? I guess like that normal fucking, right? I don't even know what normal is. I don't fucking know, right? Is blissful ignorance normal? That it's normal, right? I bet it's a lot more simple. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so, though. I think it's all difficult, yeah. In its own way and own right, yeah. It is. I actually stayed up tonight. I'm not messing up my schedule this week. Usually I sleep. That's why I only slept a few hours. Because the truth is if I don't go to bed early, like my cats, it doesn't matter what time I went to bed, my cats are going to be up at 5 meowing in my face to go outside, you know? So I was just like, we're going to stay up, right? Oh, because it Yeah, by like my third day into the week, I'm no. Yeah. So anyway, I'm quite surprised at how eventful the evening was. Must have been the music. Must have been, but let's discuss it. All right, like complex compositions do not have the distorted messaging backwards, right? So if it's just music compositions, there aren't any like uh, words when it's played in reverse, right? Any words, like whatever I do with the field, right? Like, should it produce words and one of them did, then you'll be able to hear that more clearly, right? It's almost like you can hear it louder in reverse. And that's probably because like the speed changes. So but I'm not getting in on technicalities. And why will I not get in technicalities? Because people, right? I've already had my go with these people like 10 years ago, you know? So I keep the technical shit to myself, right? Because, like I said, they all go to school, they all learn the same shit to get to the same answers, which is debatable what they produce, yeah. Anyways, if you're a copy or if you do what everyone else is doing, then there's nothing special about you, right? So what makes me special is I understand very complex shit, yeah? So we're gonna keep it that way. Now, used to, they would use fear, right? Or that's how they started out, yeah. That's what they did. But I saw it real fucking quick, yeah? From the moment, from the moment they put little candy into the fucking stone wall, yeah, that early. So, the most I will say about that is there's no words, right? And the music still sounds good in reverse, right? Just like I can be understood in correct sentences and an alignment with everything forward and reverse at any time, whether it's audible or not. And I will tell you, good luck finding anybody else like that, yeah. We'll record some of them politicians, yeah. It's probably all choppy, little bits and pieces of shit that makes sense, shit that don't, right? It's interesting, right? And I don't want to hear nothing about me. The CIA has documents, right? Oh, because the only things that are legitimate is whenever people can fucking see it, right? Now they can observe someone doing it, right? But that's not good enough. They need one of their like perceived hierarchical whatevers, right? Because nothing can be true without just on their own critical thinking, right? They have conditioned you But yeah, so there's that. And the movements are fluent. Yeah. That's why I absolutely fucking cannot stand whenever people are like trying to dictate my movements, right? Like I've explained this in layman's terms before. It's like people will try to wrangle you into their shitty little designs, right? And so it can just play on loop. You got to figure out how to like stop that, right? Like the issue that I was having at work, there has been so many call outs, right? Have they called me at all? Zero. Has the girl that calls out the most been working the most? Yes. That's how it should be. Yeah. So, shit like that. All right. Just take yourself out of that shitty little rerun. Yeah. Everybody's living on a fucking repeat rerun, you know? Oh, you know what? With the news article the other day, right, about this strange thing with the actor and whatnot, you should see my playlist. I actually dialed in before I do my own thing before I ever fucking, like, observe what everyone else's reality is, right? Like, kind of well, it's a good way for me to, like, test myself too, right? To see how, like, spot on I am and whatnot. But I went through and made a playlist, and whenever I heard the updated stuff, I said, damn, should I post like the song titles and stuff? Of course, I went through and like deleted some of them just because I can't have it sitting in my playlist in that order or an order like that, right? So I took out, I built it up and then I took out, right? It's like a code, yeah. Just pull out what better not in there. But those two, people can say whatever they want to say, but those two, like, soulmates, yeah. You don't have to believe they exist, right? But I can tell you that this world is infinite enough that I think so. Now, right? Didn't always. And it doesn't matter what reality, what carnation, it doesn't. You'll know it. You will. Anywho, yeah, I've been, I was like, if I did this, if I worked with frequency all day, which I may do today once I get some proper rest, but I bet if I, because I have to build up the field in order to make sound from it, right? Like, I bet if I did it for a really long time, because my longer videos where I stream a bunch of music together, you can hear it build. The last three were really good, right? But I had recorded a few just to like work out the fucking brain noise, right? And then the three that I posted were proper. because the second one I'm working out the sounds, and then by the third it's got words because there's no words in that song. There's no words in that music except for the first one. But do you see this? How people think that they don't have a fucking energy field around them. I don't know. Strange color, yeah. I feel like I'm sitting in front of a painting. Doesn't even look real, does it? Hmm. Anywho, I've been talking on this thing for 31 minutes, yeah. Have a wonderful